Trade Journal number 25. I'm going to start off by talking about this week's trades and then jump into what I plan on having set up for next week. And before we jump into that, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all of my trades. So the main trade for this week was on Moderna, or Mrna. I'm still in a covered call on this position, so I own the stock at the blue line right here at $125, and I had started out the week on the 8th selling a call at the $121 strike price for a max profit of $207. And the initial plan was to sell this call at $121, let it expire on $115 or this Friday, and then basically get my shares taken away at $121. But what ended up happening was right away on the 11th or Monday of this week, the price started spiking up. It got really close to 121, crossed it for a moment, and I saw that the momentum was kind of shifting on Moderna. So what I decided to do was roll this call out. So what I ended up doing was buying back the 121 call and then selling the 125 call, which is where I own the stock. So even if the stock gets taken away, I don't lose any money on that stock getting taken away. And the way this worked out was I got $207 for selling the 121 call, but then I had to buy back the call for $370. But because I sold the 125 expiring the following week on January 22nd, I got $450. So what that all works out to is plus $287. So basically now, if the stock finishes above 125 by next Friday, I will get my shares taken away and make $287. If the stock ends up pulling back and closes below 125, I get to keep my shares at 125 and I get to keep the $287. And my current plan right now is to kind of see how this price plays around. If it continues higher as we get closer to expiration or next Friday, I'm going to roll the call so that I can take advantage of the gain in the actual underlying stock and still sell calls against it. I think Moderna has some room to keep going up. I could see it getting up to the 140 level. Anything past that, and I don't know if I'd want to stay in the stock. It seems like it would start to get a little bit overextended again, and I would be happy with the profit that I could take at 140. And now jumping into the other position that I opened up this week. This is on Sndl Growers, or Sndl, which is a cannabis stock. And the position that I took on this play was a covered call. There's been recent strength in cannabis stocks, kind of due to the shift in politics, kind of moving to the Democrats, and which tends to play well for cannabis stocks. So what I ended up doing was I bought 1,000 shares of Sndl at at 70 cents. So let me put a line in for where that is. So right here at this blue line is where I purchased the 1,000 shares of the stock, and then I sold a call option, or I sold 10 call options because I own 1,000 shares at the $1 strike price for 5 cents each, or a max profit of $50. So basically by buying 1,000 shares for what came out to be about $700, I was able to make $50 for this week. And even if that seems like a small amount, that actually works out to be 7% profit in just 1 week. And my plan on this position is to keep selling the $1 strike price calls every single week, just collecting $50 or around 7% on this. And the way it works out is it would take about 14 weeks if I kept doing this every week to basically cover the entire cost of owning the stock, at which point, I get to own the 1,000 shares of Sndl risk-free in some sense. And that's kind of the position that I've set up for this week. My plan is to sell another $1 call expiring next Friday again. So for this week, the total profit realized was $50, but with the Moderna trade, there is a potential to make a lot more if I roll this position correctly, kind of depending on how price moves next week. So I'll definitely keep you all updated on what happens here and how I adjust this position. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all of my trades. And I'll see you all next week.